You ready?
Hell yeah.
Hey, tool.
Attila the Hun's Sword of Mars.
Yes.
Known as the Scourge of God, Attila the Hun was one of the most feared conquerors in history. The leader of the Hunnic Empire, his group of nomadic tribes wreaked havoc across Europe during the 5th century. Though he was once a great ally to them, he plagued Roman territories, sacking major cities like Constantinople. Legend states that Attila was given the Sword of Mars by a herdsman, fulfilling a prophecy and a direct sign from the Roman war god Mars of his divine rule. The lethal weapon featured a curved handle with a spear point tip that gave it exceptional control, allowing for accurate and brutal thrusts. After Attila's death in the year 453, the Hunnic Empire quickly dissolved. However, the story of Attila's many conquests still live on through the television miniseries Attila.
All right, bladesmiths. To find out what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do, I will deliver killing blows on this ballistics dummy. Randy, you're up first. You ready?
I am.
Let's do this. All right, Randy, let's talk about your Sword of Mars here. First up, the Damascus pattern you have here is gorgeous.
Thank you.
The weapon design is very aggressive for thrusting and slashing. Now your handle construction. If you reverse this, it'll be easier to have something to lock onto. The fact that the flare is right here, forcing my hand to open up if I want to marry into the hilt. This is a very sharp weapon. The tip pierces all the way through, cuts on the way out. It's pointy and scary, and it will kill.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, Dan, it is your turn. You ready?
Hell yeah.
Let's do this.
I was hoping the kill test would be a dummy. I know heads will roll.
All right, Dan, let's talk about your weapon here. I love the balance of your blade. When I go forward, it's not hard to pull back to go in again for another kill. Now, your handle construction. It's curved enough to where it doesn't want to fly out of my hand. It's got a good grip and control for this. Your edge allows for very deep cuts into the abdomen right there. The only issue we have is that your tip picked up a bend when it's chopped into the spine. But your weapon, sir, will kill.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for the strength test. Now, Attila's armies were basically one large cavalry. And through his military campaigns, he revolutionized the use of horse in military conflicts. So to test the strength and durability of your blades, I'll be chopping into these horse skulls. Randy, you're up first. Are you ready?
I guess so.
Okay, so right off the bat, the biggest thing is that this section from right about here to here has lost its edge. There's a couple of small rolls. Blade's still straight. It's all in one piece, still solid. Nicely done. It's a very strong blade.
Thank you.
All right, Dan, are you ready?
No, but let's do it.
Everybody says that.
At the guard.
Okay, so before we get to the obvious, I really like the design of your blade. It's got a great weight to it, had a really good feel in my hand. The balance was really nice. See all that space around your tang? With that room for that blade to move inside the guard, it could just create so much stress that it cut loose right there at the corner. If it were all tight, there wouldn't be any stress. There's no discoloration here, so it's not that there was a crack here before. Your grain structure looks fine. It was a well-designed piece, but obvious flaw.
Dan, unfortunately, your blade suffered a catastrophic failure in the middle of our strength test, which means that we can no longer test it. I'd like to invite you to shake our hands, shake your competitor's hand, and then please leave the forge.
It hurts, but my sword breaking, it's gonna be a reminder that I have to push harder and be better.
Randy, the strength and efficiency of your weapon in the kill test have earned you the title of Forged and Fire Champion and a check. For how much?
$10,000.
That's right, $10,000. Good job, brother.
I won Forged and Fire. It's reality.
How do you feel?
Good. To be a champion and be recognized as a good bladesmith is real good. This is my happy and excited face.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. If you didn't recognize it.
Jason, Don, congratulations. You've made it into the third round of this competition. We're sending you back to your home forges to recreate an iconic weapon from history. That weapon is the scissor.
Oh, God.
Wielded by gladiators in ancient Rome, the scissor was an ideal weapon for the bloody battles that ensued in the Colosseum arena. The contour of the sharp crescent-shaped blade was optimal for slashing and stabbing, while the armor encasing the forearm offered protection. Gladiators who used the scissor were also known as scissores. They could swiftly brandish the weapon in the heat of battle due to its surprisingly light weight. The dual block and cut capabilities of the scissor freed the user's other arm for another weapon or shield, giving the user the advantage of multiple ways to attack.
All right, gentlemen, this is the sharpness test. To test the sharpness of your edge, I'm going to attack our Sandman here several times. We'll see how they do. Jason, you're up first. Are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. All right, the handle feels really good in my hand, but the shape of your blade, not being as deep a crescent, made it a little bit more difficult to slash. All in all, solid, and it's got a good look. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, Don, you ready?
I'm ready.
Don, I like the way this is set up, tighter around the arm. But right here at my hand, my knuckle is just pounding into the side. You can see it slashed pretty easily on the arm. And then on the forward punch, didn't quite get the slash I was looking for. All in all, though, did the job.
Thank you.
Next up, I'll give you to Doug.
Bladesmiths, this is a kill test. To see what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do, I will take your scissor and I will deliver killing blows on this ballistics dummy. Jason, you're first. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. First up, the minute I put my hand in your handle, it's not directly in line with my fist, so it's slightly off. But as you can see, I can still wield the weapon. The laceration was deep into this cavity right here, so you've got a very sharp blade. The hook you have penetrated right into the heart on the backhand draw. It lacerates and guts everything out and disembowel this ballistics dummy. Your weapon, sir, will kill. Good job, sir.
Thank you.
Don, your turn.
Let's have some fun.
Let's do this. Good. Don, let's talk about your weapon. What I like about your weapon is that it's in line with the handle. On the initial cut here, it lacerated right through there. And in this backhand hook, your edge is deep to go in here and right into that cavity. Your weapon will kill.
Thank you. I think we're running neck and neck, and it feels pretty amazing. But
course, I wish I was further ahead of Don. I wish his would just spontaneously explode.
All right, gentlemen, this is the strength test. Now, the scissor was used in gladiatorial combat for both attack and defense. Now, to test the strength and durability of your weapon, we'll clamp them into our mechanical device here. The blade's going to come down and strike the armored cuff of your weapon twice, and then your weapon's going to be launched into this breastplate. Jason, I've already got yours strapped in, so you ready to go?
Let's do it.
Okay. Just the slightest roll. It's not deformed beyond being sharp. And then you can see where the sword came down and hit it. Caused a bit of deformation. And then I think we were pushed just a little further offline. Right in here, it looks like it kind of waffled just a bit. But everything is still tight, still sharp. Nicely done.
Thank you.
So Don, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get you strapped in. So looking at this, I'm having a hard time finding where the sword hit it. And there's one teeny little mark. You know, the blade's still tight. On that edge is still a razor blade. There's no rolling at all. Very well done. It's nice.
Thank you.
Bladesmiths, you've worked very hard to recreate weapons that we've never seen here in the Forge before. However, in this competition, there can only be one Forged in Fire champion. And that champion is... Don, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jason, unfortunately, your blade did not make the cut. Please surrender your scissor.
I spent 5 days making something I've never made before. I went up against a guy who builds armor quite often. I held my own against him. I'm pretty proud of that fact. I loved every minute of this experience.
Don, congratulations. You are the Forged in Fire champion and will be receiving that check for 10 grand. How do you feel right now?
Man, I feel fantastic. It feels great to be a Forged in Fire champion. $10,000. I'd like to get something nice for my wife. We kind of had a little fun, you know, making jokes at each other about Texas versus Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm glad to see Texas came out on top. Woo!
The Egyptian Khopesh. Cool. Dating back to 2500 BC, the Khopesh was a curved sickle sword adopted by Egyptians from the Canaanites. It was used to execute their enemies, as an infantry weapon, and also as a symbol of the authority of their nobles. The unique shape of their curved blades meant they could be used to hook a shield, snag an opponent's leg in an attempt to trip them, or even tangle an opposing weapon. The weapon's distinctive design makes the Khopesh easily recognizable in television series such as Game of Thrones.
Bladesmiths. It is said that the historic design of the Khopesh evolved from a battle axe. Its edge was so sharp that it said it could cut through just about anything. To test the sharpness of your weapon, I will see how well it cuts through a sandbag, a sugarcane, and a rope. Salem, you up. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Well, Salem, it definitely is easy enough to cut through a sandbag, cut through sugarcane, but the forward weight being a little bit tip-heavy was a little bit harder to slice through on the upward stroke, but definitely it's a very sharp weapon. This, sir, will cut. Good job.
Thanks.
Craig, you're up. You ready?
Yes, sir. I'm just disappointed that it wouldn't cut the rope.
Well, Craig, it cut through a sandbag, cut all the way through 3 sugar canes, but the same idea on an upward swing for the test. It did lacerate the rope, but it didn't cut through. But overall, it will cut. Now it's time to move on to the kill test. To test the functionality and lethality of your blade, I will attempt to rip off these shields, then deliver killing blows on this ballistic dummy. Let's see how much damage your weapon can do. Salem, you're up. You ready?
All right.
The hook on your tip does allow to rip off the shield. The edge you have right here caused some serious damage. Enough to cut all the way through the belly here. At the same time, I've cut through all these bones, from the clavicle to the ribs. This, sir, will kill. Craig, it's your turn. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. Well, Craig, what I like about your particular hook design over here is that as you puncture, twist, and rip out, everything that you have in there will hook and come out with it. The edge cut all the way into the bone and broke these ribs, the sternum. This, sir, will kill.
Thank you.
Next up is a strength test. Dave?
Gentlemen, what I'm going to do to test the strength of your weapons is take 7 blows against these animal femurs. Salem, you're up. Are you ready?
Great.
Now, Salem, in examining your weapon, we noticed a small delamination on the back of the blade.
I was not expecting that. I'm just hoping that the edge stays hard.
So we're going to keep an eye on that through the testing, and we'll see if it opens up. Well, Salem, that did a job on those bones. Now, there's a little bit of deflection on your blade, but that back mark didn't open or split at all. Now, you can see I went through 2 of those bones and was well into the 3rd. Well done.
Thank you.
So, Craig, it's your turn. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, Craig, you can see a lot of chips right there in the impact zone. The first few blows against those femurs, it started cutting really nicely. Broke through the one, but as we started to lose edge here with those chips and deflections, it just stopped cutting, and it was more a bludgeoning impact blow. But I felt it really cut well when I was swinging it. All in all, nice design. I like your handle construction, and it's definitely a chopper. So, gentlemen, good job.
Salem, Craig, there can only be one Forged in Fire champion. Salem, you are the Forged in Fire champion. Congratulations.
Good job. Thank you. Good job to you, too.
Craig, unfortunately, your blade did not make the cut. Please surrender your weapon.
Craig, thank you.
This experience was harder than I thought it was going to be. I need about 3 gin and tonics, and I'm just going to make the bad man in the back of my head go away.
Salem, it's safe to smile now because you're the Forged in Fire champion, the recipient of $10,000. Congratulations.
The fullers on that blade just really bring that pattern out. I think that's a really nice touch.
That's just crazy. It's gonna take a while to sink in. I'm kind of stunned right now.
The Roman Gladius. The word gladius means sword in Latin. It was also adopted as the name for those who would fight each other to the death for the entertainment of the imperial crowds, as depicted in the Hollywood blockbuster Gladiator. The gladius was the primary weapon of the Roman legionary, with a fearsome V-shaped tip for thrusting and stabbing and a double razor-sharp edge for slashing and slicing. Originally a Spanish weapon, the Romans were so impressed by its simple design and lethal effectiveness, they adopted it as their own and used it to help them establish one of the greatest empires the world has ever known.
For the slice test, I will take your weapon and slash through branches, vines, and sugarcane. So different layers, different consistencies. Jamie, you're up first. Are you ready?
I am.
Definitely a good impact weapon. Only thing was, at the end, as you're doing more shots, it starts to rotate with a very rounded handle, but it is sharp. And for this test, it can cut. Mareko, you're up next. You ready?
I'm ready.
Very light on the hand, very sharp. A lot of the sugar canes have very clean cuts despite being surrounded by these branches. The handle construction felt secure in my hand. It will cut. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Now it's time for the kill test. To test the lethality of your weapon, I will slash, cut, and stab this ballistics dummy that is dressed like a gladiator in the Roman era. Jamie, you're up. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Well, that lacerated all the way through to the bone, destroyed the clavicle completely. Disemboweled here. Thrust went through. And that's definitely a kill shot all the way into the spine. This will kill. Good job.
Thank you.
Mareko, you're next. You ready?
I'm ready.
That's all the way through. Disemboweled on that pass. Throat all the way to the spine. It will kill. Good job.
Thank you.
Now, to test the strength of your weapon, your Gladius will be placed on this dynamic testing rig. This rig is calibrated to deliver a strong blow similar to a Roman legionnaire from his era. Your Gladius will strike our Gladius that is made of 1055 high-carbon steel 3 times, or until one of the blades break. Jamie, your Gladius is already loaded into this rig. Are you ready?
I am.
In 3, 2, 1, engage! 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 Well, your edge held all the way through. Little indentations there, nothing major. This crushed right through the sword, so this would have broken the soldier's arm. That's a strong sword. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, Mareko, you're up.
I'm ready. My biggest fear is that it's gonna make contact and it's just gonna break.
In 3, 2, 1, engage! Engage! 3, 2, 1, engage! It held up. More scratches to the blade. That is a strong blade, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Jamie, Mareko, there can only be one champion. Jamie, you are the Forged in Fire champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mareko, your blade did not make the cut.
Mareko, I honestly love your sword, but functionality is the key. I just cannot overlook that handle coming apart.
Mareko, please surrender your weapon.
Definitely sucks, but it feels really good to have had a chance to challenge myself and to step outside my comfort zone and do a good job at it.
Jamie, congratulations. You'll be receiving a check for $10,000.
Thank you.
Do you feel like fortune favored the bold?
I do. I feel like I took some chances, and those decisions helped me win this competition.
For me, it's all about the detail, the choice of materials, the way you laid it out, which is really, really nice work.
Thank you. I feel good. It's $10,000. Definitely helped me out. Maybe might find some time for a little vacation somewhere here or there. We'll see. We'll see.
The Moro Kris. The Kris came into existence around 1361 AD in the kingdom of Majapahit, East Java. Believed to be the primary weapons wielded by Asian warriors, its distinctive wavy blade creates a wider wound during combat, causing the victim to quickly bleed to death. The hilt is viewed as a work of art and is often carved in meticulous detail from precious wood, gold, or ivory. In popular culture, the Kris can be seen in the video game Mortal Kombat.
The unique design of a Moro Kris is even made more distinct by its fluid, wave-like edges. It can thrust, but its primary purpose is slashing and chopping. To test your Kris's ability to perform according to its ancient design, I will use it to chop and slice against these moving targets. Mace, you're up first. Are you ready?
Sure.
Nice. Nice balance, nice recovery. Allows you to just move with the blade. Good job.
Thank you.
Mary, you're next. You ready?
Certainly am.
Well, Murray, the balance of this blade allows me to chase an attack, and it will come with me. On the recovery to go to another attack, it will stay with me. It doesn't go away from me. It will slice. Good job.
Thank you.
To test the lethality of your Kris, I will take your weapon, and I'm going to strike into this animal carcass. Mace, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Well, it cut cleanly through the spine, all the way through the meat in one big sweeping slash. It will kill. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Mary, you're up next. You ready?
Yep.
When cutting through, there was a slight drag in the feel of the cut, but it did cut very cleanly through. It's a very, very sharp blade. It will kill. Bamboo is a very durable material. Ounce for ounce, it is stronger than concrete, brick, or wood. To test the strength of your Kris, I will deliver 4 strikes into the bamboo to see how well your weapon stands up. Mace, you're up. Well, no damage to the blade, sir. It chopped nicely, but a couple of times over there, it did want to fall out of my hand just because it's so heavy on the blade. But nonetheless, looks like your edge did hold up.
Excellent.
Murray, you're up next. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Murray, looks like your blade edge held up with the chops. It almost clearly sliced all the way through. But there is now an issue that we're looking at with your blade. I think there might be a little bend here caused from chopping into the bamboo. But other than that, it still has a very sharp edge. The strength of the blade held up. Good job.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, you have both done immaculate work. However, in this forge, There can only be one winner of $10,000. Mace, you are the Forged in Fire champion.
Yes! Congratulations.
Thank you, Murray.
Nice job, man.
Thanks very
I'm
much.
happy for you.
Murray, unfortunately, your Kris did not make the cut.
Murray, I find that weapon absolutely beautiful and comfortable, but the fact that there's a soft core in there somewhere and that it picked up a bend where your opponent's blade did not, that was the deciding factor, and that's why we had to let you go.
Murray, please surrender your weapon.
Well, there's always a disappointment when one puts their best effort forward and doesn't win. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you, Murray.
I do feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for having been able to participate. Mace made the better blade, and I'm proud of him.
Mace, congratulations.
Woo! Mace, fantastic. I mean, the steel's beautiful. I like how you did the file work on the blade. The blade held up beautifully. The edge is razor sharp. You should be exceptionally proud of that piece. You did a great job.
I'm the Forged in Fire champion. I feel good, and I'm glad I came out on top. I'm the Tiger.